What's on your mind? Benediction, whatever you'd like to say to close this out.
There seems to be a lot of bank shot logic that I've been listening to here, which is that women can get their husbands to behave in ways that their husbands wouldn't, and men. Celinda Lake says we're trying to give women permission whose husbands would vote for Trump to vote for Harris because they don't want to disagree with their husband or have fights at the table. And I would not question that Celinda Lake knows way more about the behavior of people in the voting booth than I do. But this does not jibe with my understanding of human nature. I'm sorry to say, I don't think that men are going to vote for Kamala Harris because they're worried that if abortion is illegal, they'll get less sex because women will punish them like this is Lysistrata, like our like the play by Aristophanes about how women stop giving their husbands sex because they want to stop war. That's satire. This is reality. We're 8 days away from the election. The most famous person in the world is running for president. Everybody in the country has their opinion of him. Their opinion of him is baked in the cake. They're going to have to make a decision about whether or not that cake is too distasteful to them, or if it's delicious, or whether they can just stomach it enough to go and take a bite out of it. And this is an election that the Democrats are desperately trying to make about Trump. And I fear that the reason that everything is closed up and is now, is where it is that the election is at least as much about Harris as it is about Trump. And you're not going to make it about Trump. You're not going to make it about Trump by convincing men that they have to vote for Harris. Otherwise, they're going to show their wives that they're full of rage, which is what Michelle Obama said. It's unbelievably condescending to men and women, and particularly not college-educated men and women, to think that you can manipulate people into voting against or not understanding what their true interests are. And that is, I would worry if I were a Harris supporter. I'm not supporting either one of these people. I would worry if I were a Harris supporter listening to Celinda in particular, because it would seem to me that that is not a path to victory. That's hope. That's a hopeful idea about how social organization in America will work and redound to Harris's benefit. It's not like, how are we going to get people in Pascagoula to go vote when maybe they wouldn't vote otherwise? And they're not going to do it by pulling them through down a doorway and through another doorway and getting them to do something that they wouldn't otherwise do. The election's in 8 days. I mean, the end of the election is in 8 days. This is not a moment for persuasion. This is a moment for technical skill at getting the vote out, particularly for Democrats. That's their great strength, and if they can do that, that's fine. If they think that having a moment on the ellipse tomorrow is going to change anybody's mind, I don't think that that's going to happen.
John, who said comedy is not pretty? Steve Martin?
Steve Martin.
Steve Martin. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you for that, John.